Las Vegas is full of all sorts of illicit activities. Whether it's picking up a nice date on the street, trying your luck with some cards, or passing yourself off as a robot to sneak into the Sphere, it's easy to find ways to break the law in Sin City. But a newly passed ordinance affecting the Las Vegas Strip could land you in serious trouble for a vice that's far more mundane than sex, drugs, or gambling. Standing on a bridge.
If you are up there taking a picture, if you tie your shoelace, if you need a break to catch your air for a couple minutes, you stop to protest, you stop to engage in sharing your faith, whatever the case may be.
That's the executive director of the Nevada ACLU, and they're talking about an ordinance that went into effect in Clark County on Tuesday. It pertains to the network of pedestrian bridges that pepper the Las Vegas Strip, which helps steer locals and tourists alike to get from, say, the Flamingo over to Planet Hollywood to catch the $49 zombie burlesque show, which can be financed for a low $5 a month through a buy now, pay later company. Anyway, as laid out in this new pedestrian flow zone ordinance, Clark County says these pedestrian bridge designs did not include uses beyond pedestrian traffic crossing from one side to the other side. The parameters included that pedestrians would not stop, stand, or congregate, other than for incidental and fleeting viewing of the Las Vegas Strip from the pedestrian bridge. The document continues, for pedestrians to be able to stop, stand, or congregate for any other reason, the pedestrian bridges would have been designed differently to account for such uses. Hey, why did the chicken cross the bridge? Because that's all it's allowed to do. No stopping, no standing, no dumping ketchup on Nelson like in 22 short films about Springfield. So throw that guy in jail, throw that guy in jail, and throw that woman, that guy, and whoever those hands belong to in jail too. Because that's not a complete exaggeration. Violators of this pedestrian bridge ordinance can face up to 6 months in jail, a fine of $1,000, or both. The Associated Press posted this story to Twitter, and people don't sound terribly pleased about these pedestrian bridge restrictions. Knowledge70 wrote, "Damn, is this country that broke?" Ryan wrote, "Okay." And Eric said, "The ban is more to keep street performers and the homeless off the bridges." The county and even Metro Police said that photos by tourists are still permitted.
The police will first take the opportunity to educate them about what the ordinance is, ask them to move along. The overwhelming majority of people will comply with that.
That's a University of Nevada, Las Vegas professor and the director of its Center for Crime and Justice Policy.
The brief stoppage for a photograph, that's not really the intent of the ordinance.
In a statement, Clark County said this pedestrian flow zone ordinance isn't intended to target street performers or photographers, but to keep traffic moving across these bridges. Now, you are allowed to stand or stop on the bridge if you're waiting for an elevator, to use the stairs, or to use an escalator. How generous. But if you're not waiting to go anywhere and you're just standing there taking up space, move it along.
For the extremely small number of people who do not comply with that, this ordinance simply gives the police the tool to cite them or arrest them if necessary.
Now, this whole ordinance thing isn't just about Vegas trying to find new ways to bilk you out of a grand or get you to stick around for a while longer. Slot machines, free drinks, and clockless, windowless casinos have already kind of got that taken care of. They claim that as an in-demand tourist destination, the county has an interest in providing safe pedestrian access on the Las Vegas Strip. And with Vegas reaching record levels of tourism as of late, occasionally passing pre-pandemic highs, the city says this is all about making the place a safe place to transverse. On these bridges late last year, for example, view blocking screens were put up on some of the bridges to prevent freeloaders without a ticket from being able to catch a glimpse of the Las Vegas Grand Prix unfolding below. This ordinance claims that stopping on the pedestrian bridge creates conditions that can foment disorder, which, in turn, can lead to crime and serious safety issues. So, standing on a bridge leads to crime. No wonder someone ghosted Avril Lavigne.
Standing on the bridge, thought that you'd be here by now.
Disorder increased substantially over the last few years. It's up nearly 25% on the Strip. So these would be calls for things such as fights, public intoxication, public drug activity, suspicious persons. Those offenses tend to concentrate disproportionately on the pedestrian bridges.
So our criminologist there is backed up by what this ordinance says. It claims that while these bridges constitute only about 6% of the total linear feet of available public sidewalks, service calls for disorderly conduct on the pedestrian bridge are almost twice as high. And it says these bridges create a unique opportunity for criminal disorder, as the bridges create a captive audience. It's kind of like how trolls got such a bad reputation.
So we're meant at the same time to believe it's so dangerous up there that we must criminalize even mere stopping for a matter of seconds. But it's not dangerous enough to make sure there's a permanent police presence up there.
Opponents of this ban, like our ACLU guy here, says this thing violates First Amendment rights, which are protected at their highest levels in public spaces, like pedestrian bridges.
One of the more common ones we deal with is folks who are playing a musical instrument, it's someone who's painting a picture. All these are protected First Amendment activities according to the United States Supreme Court.
The city's going to put up signs letting the public know where stopping and standing is prohibited on these bridges, as well as the surrounding pedestrian zones. Good thing there's nothing else to look at on the Las Vegas Strip that might draw away one's attention.